Okay, this is Pastor Ajay. Nice to meet you. This is the very first time I'm meeting. The funny thing is, he's exactly 39, the same age as me. And he's also a pastor, so which is good. And his story is very interesting. He can't speak English, fluent English, so I'm trying to talk on behalf of him. But he's there. He'll stop me if I'm telling anything wrong here. Okay. So his mom and dad both died of cancer, and his mom suffered for almost 8 months with cancer, eight months, and his dad died after that with another form of cancer. So after they died, he's not from this city or anything. He is a pastor in a extremely remote location close to the tribal area, and that's where he does majority of his ministry. And he just started where there's nothing. So when he died, he thought he could inherit some property from his family, from his parents, in order to use the money to do some ministry. He worked for Campus Crusade, which is now known as Campus for Christ, I think. For almost 3 years, he was 4 districts coordinator. He was a coordinator for 4 districts in around this area. But God called him for a church planting and starting a church, and so he left that. And it's been 3 years since he's been a church ministry thing. So what happened after his parents died? He thought he can get some money from his property and all that, but the relatives began contending, and he didn't get anything because they told him he was adopted. So neither him or his mom ever told him that he was adopted. He only came to find out after they died. So then he had to leave, let go everything. He didn't inherit. He inherited nothing, and he started his ministry. When he started a church in that tribal, the small village under the trees. That's where his church started. So right now there's a congregation of around 37 people. A few of them died, and he baptized 3 times, and a few people got saved. It's a very hard ministry in that area. But God somehow gave him favor with the president of that village. And strangely, that president of that village gave him a little chunk of land to build a church on. Right? So from under the trees, they moved to a small chunk of land. And then they put up the hut, as you see in the pictures right now. So this hut is where they did service, but eventually God somehow provided again to build a church. And because there is no place to rent to live, he lives in another town close by, where he has to travel a fair bit of distance to come to this village to do ministry. So he is married, by the way, with 2 kids, 10 and 8. 10-year-old son and 8-year-old daughter. So they travel there to do ministry. So they're building a house come church, where his house is at the back and the church is in the front. But sadly, there was a lot of rip-offs and stuff that have happened. They built the church, but they realized that the mason forgot to put the pillars or something. So they have to now add those pillars to build a slab on top, because they build with bricks and cement in India. So he did whatever he can, but even for the water, they have to travel. How long? They have to travel?
Half a kilometer.
They have to travel half a kilometer to get the water, to water the cement and cure the building. It is such a difficult job. So carry the water and all that. So he prayed, and strangely enough, the president came and told them, "Hey, I think there's supposed to be a borewell around this area somewhere that they shut down, and it's all sealed up." So they went and searched for it. It was only 150 feet away. It's all buried up. So they dug it up and they threw a rock in the pipe, and they heard a splash. So that's a good thing. So they bought a motor, put it on top, and now they're able to get plenty of water from that only 150 feet away instead of half a kilometer. So God answered the prayer that way. So the church is being built right now, but he doesn't have any support or anything. He lives by faith, whatever he gets. And the church work stopped. They need almost 500,000 rupees to finish both the church and the house together for him to start. It's all new. It's only been 3 years, but tremendous potential in the neighboring villages as well. And he's very gifted man, a gifted teacher, very trustworthy person. And we have to pray for that aspect of his ministry and see how God is going to provide. So that's one thing. So the construction stopped, the walls are there, there's no roof. And where do you meet for church right now?
The hut.
You still meet, you still have the hut. So they meet in the hut, and the church is still going on. And yesterday was the first Sunday, one of the church member tithed them 600 rupees. That's almost like $5. The first offering he ever received that way from his own parishioners. So it's a very exciting day for them. He said he wrote them in the journal.
Every week I got 100 rupees
Okay.
offering.
Yeah. Every week he gets $2 in his offering. And yesterday he got $5 or $6. So it's a pretty exciting day. So he recorded that in his journal, he says. So God has been good and God is faithful. And I'm honored to meet another pastor who serves by faith. So, praise God for such ministry. So that's his story. Ajay, you want to say anything to our church? Are there any believers there?
Yes. Whatever God allows in my life, whatever God allows in my life is good or bad, whatever it is, by faith I'm prepared to face anything in my life because God chosen me. God chosen me. So until my last breath, I will serve Him faithfully. So my vision is reach the tribal places. Tribal children, many children don't have education and they don't know about God. They don't know anything. They don't know anything. So we like to serve. We share God's love to them. So please prefer village ministry. And many people. Last time I prayed fasting 40 days. Two things I asked to Lord. First, new souls to come to the church, and many people save, know the Christ. And the second thing is what is His will in that village? God's will fulfill in that village. So please pray for my family, church, and village.
The village is called?
Village name?
Yeah.
Is Escota Sitarampuram. So please pray for that village. Almost 5,000 people live in that village. So
and there's no church there?
There is church is there, but very far from that my place. Very far. But who are coming to this church? They're walking 4 kilometers far from. They're living 5 kilometers or 4 or 5 kilometers far from our church. So they're walking every week. They're walking every Friday to the fasting prayer. So whatever we have the program in the church, they come by walk 4 kilometers. They come to the church.
Yeah. In this culture, in the place where he is to walk 4 kilometers, it's not easy. You're not like a straight road or something. They have to walk through the jungles, or you don't know what fields. Yeah, and there's snakes and sometimes tigers. You don't know what will carry you away. So they come by faith, and that's a very exciting thing to see, that people are coming for the gospel. And it's wonderful to meet you, Ajay. Thanks for spending some time with us. We'll see you again.